Welcome to the Cuse Militia Podcast with those two unapologetically biased, orange-blooded homers, Sean and Joe.
All right, what's up, Cuse Nation? Thanks for tuning in to the Cuse Militia Podcast with Sean and Joe. The universal handle for the socials is @Cuse Militia. Go there. Join the militia. We are the only Syracuse sports podcast centered around giving you, the fans, a voice. Welcome back. We got some more off-season news for you. We were going to come on here and we were going to rant and rave about Dungey still sitting on the sidelines and not getting put on, at least picked up as an undrafted free agent. But here we are. It's a new day from yesterday.
Yes, it is.
And
yes, it is.
He has been picked up. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the rest of those guys. There was some Tyus Battle news that is somewhat new, and we'll go over all of that. But first, I introduced you in the last episode to the new corporate sponsor for the Armchair All-Americans Media Network, and that is SeatGeek. And what SeatGeek is if you are looking for tickets and you need tickets to a concert, a Broadway show, a sporting event, anything, you go to SeatGeek, and what they do is they scan the web, and they find you the best deal for whatever you're looking for, and it rates them on a scale of 0 to 10, and that lets you know if you're getting the best bang for your buck. A green dot marks it's a great deal. A yellow dot, that's an okay deal, and the red dot's not so good. Don't bite on a red dot, okay? Don't be that guy or gal. So use the promo code ACAA at checkout and receive $20 off your first purchase. That's 2 free beers or a couple sodas at the stadium. So what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? I am going to go to Slightly Stupid's coming to P-Town, Portsmouth, out here in Virginia, and I'm going to try SeatGeek out. I'm going to try it out, and I'll let you all, by the time we come back, I will have those tickets. I will let you know how it worked, and I'll be honest. That's promo code ACAA at checkout to get that 20% off your first purchase. SeatGeek, Life's in Events, and we have the tickets. So, quickly, the Syracuse Orange men's lacrosse team was just a slight disappointment in the ACC tournament. That happened a couple weeks ago. Was right after our last show. They had the game in hand and kind of gave it up in the last fourth quarter there to UNC.
4 goals.
So in
the last 4 minutes, something like that. So.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah,
so,
and it's I was planning on going to that game on Saturday if they won too. So kind of.
Well,
hurt.
My son's team, not to be way off subject, but they gave up 5 goals. They were up 6-1. They gave up 5 goals in the last 8 minutes of the fourth quarter. Just a weekend after. So
hey, it's one of those sports where every time there's a score, you face back off and
you have the chance to get the ball.
Back. Yeah,
yep,
so
exactly.
That can happen. That's what makes that sport great. So
I know it's
but
exciting.
we've had a good enough resume to where we should be good to still get in the NCAA tournament even after that.
Yeah,
performance.
The seeding is this Sunday at 9:00 on ESPNU.
Yeah.
So you can watch that there. They kind of dragged that out for a couple weeks, huh? So
no, out of the championship. I think the championship.
Did we just lose that early? We lost that early to where?
Well, there's only 5 teams, but I think they play the 2. They play that's the playing game, so they have to play that one day, and then they play the other games. That's essentially semifinals on that Saturday, and then they play the finals, I believe, this Saturday. So
right. What was the other thing? Oh, real quick, another side note: a Wegmans opened up out here in Virginia Beach. I will say, it's nice having a Wegmans back. I waited 17 years for that moment, Joe. 17 years to get my W pop. To get my W up.
Hey, man. I can't wait for the W pop, dude. There's about to be one, I think, by this time next year, there'll be one, I think, less than 10 minutes from my house. So. Oh,
that's awesome. I could, there's the one that's near me is like less than a mile from my house. It's so awesome. And that place is mobbed. I will bet you any amount of money there are more people in that Wegmans on any given evening after like 5:30, 6 o'clock than that goes to the damn fair. I'm serious. You can't even walk through there with a cart. Like, it's brutal. Anyway, it's bad. So, anyway, it's glorious.
They might run some grocery store chains into the ground down here.
Oh, I know. I'm worried about that here too. I like competition, but Wegmans has got it going on, and anyway, it's glorious. I love it. I'm excited about it. Thought I'd share it with you.
I still try to. I try to explain it to people down here, and they just
have no idea.
No, it's a grocery store. How good could it be?
Right.
That's okay. So
it's a big deal. Just
wait.
Exactly.
And I can't do anything until they get built here. So
exactly.
I just gotta wait.
That's it, man. That's it.
Yeah.
All right, Ty's battle. Not among the 60 players invited to the NBA Combine, but he still does have a path, technically. He did receive an invitation to the G League Elite Camp. That's going to be held in Chicago May 12th through the 14th, and that will include around 40 players, and the top players from that camp will be invited to the NBA Combine. So if he performs well there, he's got a chance for another invite. So, for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think they do that with the guys from the G League again, like you said, that maybe had never been drafted and, have their little tryouts to try to get in the draft or whatever. And again, too, I think they do it with players that have been to the Combine before. I mean, Ty's Battle has done this.
Yeah.
So I think they reserve a lot of spots for people that have never done it before.
His father had said, it's reported that his father had said that that Tyus would schedule around 10 to 15 different workouts with NBA teams prior to the draft.
Yeah.
So, he did all that last year, so he knows the
deal, yeah. And hopefully this will be an example of somebody that went through, the system, came back, went to do everything. He went to the Combine interviews, went to his tryouts, and he decided to come back. And hopefully that experience helps him handle this one a lot better, and hopefully it'll help come, draft night.
Yeah, I think the nerves got to him maybe a little bit last year. But
well, or maybe he just that
wasn't
draft
ready.
class. It just wasn't a good one to go to,
Yeah.
So
yep.
Still wanted to get his degree, so yeah.
So the NFL draft has come and gone. As unexciting as some of us may think it is, some of us think it's very exciting.
Yeah.
It's a lot of waiting around.
We can let everybody guess what everybody thinks about between me and Sean, which one's which.
Right. Well, it's funny because
I was calling you and telling you who your team was drafting.
Well, my son was watching it, so he was yelling it to me. Oh, Raiders are up, Raiders up. They go and pick up I don't even remember.
Clellan Ferrell?
Yeah, there you go. That's it. And I'm like, you see the reaction of the Raiders fans on the TV when they're like puzzled as hell. They're like so puzzled, but then they're like, after their bewilderment, then they cheer. Like, what are you doing? And then I thought that was terrible, right? I thought that was awful. And then the Giants step up.
My team steps up. Yep.
The Giants, though, we're going to talk a little bit about them. We waited.
Daniel Jones, God.
Daniel Jones.
Why?
I'm like, really? Come on.
See, that's what it was. What it was basically, if Farrell was slotted to go like late teens, 17, 18, 19. So it's not like he's an awful player. He was a good
He played for Clemson.
Yeah, he's a good defensive end. So, but it must have just been one of those things where he liked him. Probably couldn't get any trades to trade back to get him. So
yeah,
he took their guy. So
yeah, I was still a little upset with that pick, and we'll see how it goes. Like, I mean, whatever. It's whatever.
Well, the worst part about it is it's both our teams too. It was like back to back.
That's what was fun.
I mean, there was Buccaneers in between.
Yeah, there was one pick in between, but that was pretty funny though.
Yeah, dude, I wanted my team to pick Josh Allen, but we took him.
Made it easy for Jacksonville, that's for sure.
Yeah, both of us did.
Yeah, I know. So anyway, we've got let's take a look at the recent NFL draft history for Syracuse. Hasn't been that great. Hasn't been that great.
Unless you count special teamers.
Yeah, well, what was it? Riley Dixon, right? But he was drafted by the Broncos, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all right. Let's start with this year. Okay. Well, let's do Chris Slayton first. Okay. He was the only one from Syracuse that got drafted. He got drafted in the 7th round, and he was the 245th overall pick.
By my Giants.
By the Giants, and it is something to be said. I had said to Joe when the Giants picked Slayton, I'm like, wow, Chris Slayton went to the Giants. What is up with Giants and Syracuse players. Now, Tom Coughlin, a Syracuse alum, I understood like that, like the David Tyree, and there was a couple more, but I understood that. But there has been some decent Syracuse players that have played for the Giants or are playing for the Giants. This is the most orange team out there for sure. So
it seems like it, right?
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Yeah. So anyway, and then Chris Slayton, 6'4", 370 pounds.
Which I love the pick, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a little biased, but I still think that we talked about it throughout the whole season, probably for the last 2 seasons, about how he's been the focal point of offenses that we play, and he's been getting double teamed, and he's basically the unsung hero for why our defensive ends are putting up. I mean, they're good. Our defensive ends are good. They got talent.
Yeah, not many accolades this past season.
What he does, he gets no glory, but he allows everybody else around him to basically succeed,
thrive.
And, hey, he does his job.
Yeah, he does his job. And according to SportsTrack.com, the projected contract for Slayton's slot in the draft was $2.6 million, and with a sign-on bonus of around $75,000. So
he should stick. He should be on the team.
Yeah, played 49 games.
He should make it. Yep.
Yeah, I wouldn't think I would think he should be fine. He played 49 games in his career and racked up 107 tackles, 66 solo with 32.5 for a loss and 9.5 sacks, 5 forced fumbles, 3 pass breakups, 1 fumble recovery, and a block kick. So good on Slayton. Mm-hmm. Now we sat around and we were gonna make part of this episode about Dungey getting snubbed. And
it's probably gonna be a lot of it.
Huh?
There's probably going to be a lot of it. It wasn't even the snub. It was just the fact that usually players it doesn't take so long.
I know, because there was a lot of
free agents.
Yeah, there was a lot of kind of. I don't pay that much attention to other quarterbacks around the entire NCAA. I really don't. But I mean, there was some that you just felt like he should be going over. So Chris Slayton. Okay, was picked up by the Giants 2019, round 7. Then last year in 18 was Zaire Franklin. He was picked up in round 7 as well.
Yeah.
And then 2017 was none.
Nobody.
Yeah. And then 16 was Riley Dixon. That's the one I mentioned with the Broncos. Round 7 again. And Syracuse hasn't had a first-round pick since 2013 with Justin Pugh. And guess where he was drafted, Joe?
The Giants.
The Giants.
Yeah. We drafted Nassib too.
That's right, Nassib. That's right. So
David Tyree.
We talked about the helmet catch. Obviously, we all know David Tyree from the helmet catch, and he basically kept that drive alive for them and win that Super Bowl against New England. So anyway, Eric Dungey got picked up and signed as an undrafted free agent, and he is going to wear number 12 for the New York Giants if it sticks. Also, it has been 100% confirmed that Dungey is he's not with the Giants for the 2-day minicamp. He's actually on the roster sheet. He's listed as a member of the 90-man roster, which is going to get whittled down to 53. And that just means that it's somewhat stable right now. He's also listed in 2 different positions. You've heard, maybe you have or haven't, but Eric has said in the past he's a quarterback. He wants to be a quarterback. But as time went on, I guess there was an interview with his father, and his dad said that, of course, he's becoming more open to becoming more versatile because of where he's, his situation. Yeah. So there was I guess there was about 4 or 5 different teams that were looking at him, and he picked to go to the Giants.
Yeah. So again, too, you have to understand as well that saying yes to that is just a foot in the door. If there's
absolutely, yeah, exactly,
that's your chance to go out there. I mean, it's giving you a chance. Yeah, so you're gonna have to go out there. You're gonna have to learn tight end, but at the same time, he's gonna have that opportunity to play quarterback and be in the quarterback room with those guys. And you never know. I mean, we've doubted. There's been a lot of people that have doubted Dungey, and we have in the past. And I think I've gone on record to say that I don't doubt that guy anymore. The only thing that I worry about, obviously, is injuries, because you go up a level, the hits don't get any softer. So one more concussion, and that could be his career, depending on what doctor he goes to. So, and he has had injuries, but again, I'm just glad that he got a chance to to get a chance.
A chance for a chance. That's all you can ask for.
Right, and I'm glad it was my team. To be perfectly honest with you, because now it's going to give me a better reason to watch longer into the preseason games.
So annoying.
Yeah,
and you know who else will be watching the Giants in preseason? Yeah, Colin Farrell, my ass. Who cares? Seriously, who cares? You know who else is going to be watching Giants preseason football? Is
who?
Syracuse fans. That's a big deal, man. Eric was the heart of Syracuse football for past couple years. I mean, really the past couple years.
Like 4.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, it was on and off. Past couple years were probably, those were the best. But
yeah.
But I'm excited for him. I'm happy for him. Proud of him. I'm glad that he's got an opportunity to at least prove people wrong. I think he'll make it. I think that the Giants, maybe they got a plan for him. We'll just have to see. So, all he can do is go out there and do his best. And when he's under pressure, he's performed. That's all I can say.
Yeah,
he really has.
That was, again, you talked about it. That was the rant that I was kind of going to go on there with the fact of just have you seen him play? We go this long and he still isn't signed. And I mean, don't get it twisted. These draft boards, there's a lot of people, a lot of teams that have players that would they think they would be able to they would draft if they had the picks, but sometimes you don't have the picks and you basically have a list of players that, if they don't get drafted, these are the people, and you're going to be on the phone as soon as the draft is. I mean, as soon as the draft is over, these teams are on the phones with these players and these agents trying to get something worked out. And you usually have a list already ready to go. So when you go that long, I mean, Dante Strickland and all those other guys, they got picked up earlier than him. And so just have you seen him play? I mean, I've talked to so many college football fans and people around here that I know, and they know about Dungey, and they're not even Syracuse fans, and they're like, how did that guy not get picked up?
Well, he worries opponents. You know what I'm saying? So that's how those, you got Carolina fans or NC State fans, and they've had to worry about him. Yeah.
I got a couple of West Virginia fans that are on my softball team, and they said they came in, to the game, to our softball game, and asked, hey, where did Dungey get picked up? They knew that he didn't get drafted, but hey, where did he get picked up? Because it's almost like obvious. Of course this guy's going to get a chance. And I'm like, dude, He hasn't gotten picked up yet. They're like, what? Yeah. Like, have these people not seen him play football? How do you not want a guy like that on your team? And again, the only thing that I can think that might have swayed teams to maybe wait was maybe injuries. Or maybe the openness of maybe him playing another position. So
exactly. That's what I'm thinking it is. I honestly, I think that's what it is. I don't think it's so much injuries as it is maybe him, if they wanted to use him in a more versatile manner, I think that definitely is what pushed it over the edge for the teams that were interested.
Well, yeah, sure. And you get, I don't know, I think last year the Giants held 3 quarterbacks, but usually when they have a solid backup. They got 4 now,
right?
Dude, they got 5.
They got 5?
So, yeah, they got 5. So, because they had 3 last year. Last year they drafted that rookie from Richmond in the 3rd round.
The Richmond Spiders?
Yeah. Wow. And then they had this Alex Tanney or Haney or something, I don't even know, but it's just a journeyman backup, and they had re-signed him for 2 years in the offseason. So, and then they just drafted this guy, and now they got Eric. So, traditionally, when the Giants have a good backup, then they've only really been 2 deep. But recently, they've gone 3 because they haven't really found a solid backup, and they're trying to find one for the future, obviously. So, if he could find his way as far as being able to play special teams or maybe coming in for some special sets like we talked about, like Taysom Hill and the Saints, maybe play a little bit of tight end, go out, catch some passes, maybe trick play throws, whatever, then that's worth it to an organization to make that 53-man roster. 53 is not a lot.
No, I know. And it's going to be whittled down almost.
College football has 85.
Yeah, I know, and it's going to be whittled down almost half.
Right. Yeah. So when you're on a 53-man roster, when you are on that roster, you might not be a starter, but you have a role, whether it's special teams or you're going to play a certain amount. You're not going to just not play. Everybody on that 53-man roster has a role.
Absolutely. So we talked, and there was 11. Let me see. There was 11 quarterbacks taken in the NFL draft, and I'll just name one: Kyle Kempt from Iowa State. He actually lost his starting job after he was injured last season, and he threw 31 passes last year, and he was drafted over Dungey. So there's a couple of them like that, just to give you an idea, like how like baffled you could be while you're watching stuff like that happen, and you got a freaking guy with the heart of a lion that's just wants to eat, and he's like, he's just waiting. So, anyways, congrats to Dungey. Happy for him. Can't wait to see it. Even though he's going to be in a Giants jersey, whatever. I didn't care. I don't care. I will say.
Could have been Bills. No, I'm just joking. I can't say that.
Yeah, I don't. I would have been a little heartbroken if it was the Bills. I'm sorry. I'm serious.
What?
All the teams go to the Bills. I don't know. I can deal with the Giants.
Let's think about this, though. You got to think about where we're from. There's a lot of Bills fans where we're from. So technically, for Syracuse fans, that could have been one of the better
why I say
spots,
that.
But I'm glad it's my team.
Yeah, exactly. So Dante Strickland, he was picked up by. He's going to be minicamp as an undrafted free agent. With Arizona. Strickland rushed for 1,717 yards on 432 carries. He averaged 4 yards a carry with 15 touchdowns in his career with the Orange. So congratulations to him. We'll see how that pans out. I don't have a whole lot to say about that. I think Dante Strickland, he's a shifty, he's a good runner, but 1,717 yards in 4 years is, I don't know. It's a little lackluster.
Well, we threw a lot. Quarterback ran a lot.
Yeah, I know. Jamal Custis. Jamal Custis had a rough go for a little bit, but his senior season, where he caught 51 passes for 906 yards and 6 touchdowns, he averaged 17.8 yards a reception.
Yeah.
And he battled a lot of injury, and I think he totaled for his career 64 receptions for 1,048 yards. And 8 TDs. So the bulk of his career was in his senior year, and he was just awesome last year. So what do you see? What do you see? I see a lot of promise in Custis, maybe being able to make it. Maybe not as a receiver right away, but you had mentioned it, so I'm going to let you take it. You brought the point.
Yeah. As far as he was one of our better special teams players last year. If you go back and look at something, or if you just realize when you were watching, he was like the gunner on the punt team, the guy, lying down on the outside, that's job's just to get down the field and try to get to the guy, try to create a fair catch and not a good return, and basically kind of hold the outside, not let him get outside. And he was great at that. He was down there all the time. I mean, he made some big plays. I think there was one time there was a muff punt and he jumped right on it and made some good tackles. So
wasn't that the Louisville game? I think it was at that game. Wasn't it?
I think it was.
Yeah.
It was. Well, I don't remember the exact game, but he made some big plays, and obviously he can stride by people. He did get by people with a long ball, so he's got some speed with his stride and height, and I think just a little bit of work, a little bit of confidence. I think he can turn into a pretty decent receiver. He can turn into he's probably a pretty good, red zone target. It's another reason why they probably looked at him as maybe jump ball and stuff like that. And again, he's got a good chance to find his niche on the special teams. A lot of times when you're a rookie trying to make the team, or maybe trying to take a veteran spot, a lot of times it's those little things, like I said, where they're more relying on you and special teams and little things like that, and maybe a few plays here and there on offense in the beginning, but you find your little niche. And that's what Zaire Franklin did, and that's what I think that he's going to do. And I think he actually has a pretty good chance of making a team.
Yeah, if you can make a difference on special team, that does not go unnoticed.
Right. Plus, I mean, they have mediocre, other than Tyreek Hill, which we don't really know what's going to happen to him because of everything that's going on right now with him and his alleged, breaking his child's arm or something like that. I don't know.
I didn't hear about that one.
Oh, yeah, dude, it's all over the news as far as sports news. They've been talking about it and stuff. It was going on during the draft and stuff.
What is up with NFL players in, being violent? What is up with that?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
maybe the sport they play. I don't know.
The sport they play.
Just everyone's got. I mean, I don't know. Look, everyone's got their own problems, and the last thing I'm going to do is sit up here and
breaking
pretend
your. Yeah, well, okay, it's alleged. I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna.
It's still alleged. It's still out there, and it's. I mean, he's still on the Kansas City Chiefs roster.
Yeah, well, there's video of other players doing things that are despicable. So
right, and there's no video, and seems like there's like a cropped up like. I don't know. There's some stuff out there. If you want to look it up in the internet, it's all over there.
It could be baloney.
It could be, basically. Okay. But either way, if that does end up hurting him and they lose him,
yeah. Anyway, back to
they don't really have a lot of talent and depth as far as
it could be. He could step up and fill a void there.
Right. Yeah. That's a good offense. So.
Yeah. Cody Conway, he's going to get a shot as an undrafted free agent with the Tennessee Titans. He finished second on the team in snaps with 1,109 and third in knockdowns with 30.5 this past season. In his career, Conway delivered 81.5 knockdown blocks and was named to the All-ACC academic team 3 times. So that's pretty awesome. He became the second offensive lineman, by the way, after Coda Martin, who we'll get into next. Coda Martin, he reached an agreement with the Los Angeles Chargers as an undrafted free agent. So now we've got, not only we got Eric Dungey going to the Giants, who is my dad's team, was my stepdad's team, was my good buddy Joe's team, and my brother's team, and the owner of my company's team. Okay? And then, I know a lot of Giants fans. So, not only that, but we've got Jamal Custis going to the Chiefs, which is a Raider rival. And then we got Coda Martin. He's got a shot with the Los Angeles Chargers, who I loathe. Good luck to him, but I can't stand the Chargers. I cannot stand them. So anyway, Coda Martin, he joined the Orange as a graduate transfer from Texas A&M last year, as you well know. That is Coach's son-in-law. And he transferred here last year, started all 13 games at right tackle. He was named third-team All-ACC honoree after leading the Orange in snaps with 1,111 and finishing second on the team in knockdown blocks with 31.5. So, good player. 2 good players right there in Cody Conway and Coda Martin.
Yeah, I thought so. I mean, Cody Conway's been just a mainstay, just right there at left tackle for a couple of years, and Coda Martin coming in, considering the relationships that were there with his father and his father-in-law, and the fact that he's his wife and where he was staying and everything, you knew that he wasn't going to be a problem, and he stepped right in, and he was definitely a big part of that offensive line and offensive success last year. I think that they both have decent shot to make it. This year it was a really defensive heavy as far as talent pool. So a lot of times when that happens, you can get some undrafted free agent guys out there that still have the talent to make these teams. And a lot of times when it comes to undrafted free agents with offensive line, it just comes down to what they have as far as depth there. If there's not good depth, then I think that either of these 2 players has a great shot. But, if they have good depth, then it's one of those things where they're really, really going to have to work. And I mean, they're going to have to work anyway, what I mean? But I'm just saying, sometimes you just have people, if you have good depth, you have guys that are kind of shoo-ins as long as they show up.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Right. So what out of the undrafted free agents that we just ran through, and Dungey, and Coda Martin, and Cody Conway, and Jamal Custis, and Dante Strickland, who do you see making it? You want to make any predictions?
If I had to make predictions, and obviously I don't want to be biased about it, and I got to look realistically at the situation with the Giants. I think it's going to be fun to watch him play and see what they have in store for Eric Dungey during preseason, and to be able to see the news and hear the news, and hopefully he proves everyone wrong and comes out, and like I said to you on the phone, he comes out and he's better than Daniel Jones. Mm-hmm. I mean, it would be a waste of a first-round pick, but I would love it.
Whatever, right?
Fan. And who cares, if he ends up doing that. But realistically, I think it's a long shot. And again, it's going to be fun to watch. But I think Dungey is a long shot to make the Giants now. If he can show some stuff, maybe prove some things, and maybe another team might take a shot on him. But I kind of think he's a long shot considering the team that he went to and who they took with their number 6 pick, and who they already have there as far as depth goes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think I think the 2 linemen in Jamal Custis. I think Dante Strickland's kind of a long shot as well. I was surprised he actually even got signed as an undrafted free agent.
I gotta be honest, I was a little surprised myself.
I mean, I thought that Guthrie would have had a shot before
Guthrie
him.
with a great senior season, yeah.
I can see why no one touched Ravian Pierce because he just was an underachiever with a bad attitude, and we've talked about it, and we don't need to go any further as far as that goes. But I'd say between the 2 offensive linemen and Custis, I think they got a 50-50 shot. I really do. I really do think that. It just depends on how, maybe a little bit has to do with the systems they go to as far as blocking schemes and stuff like that. And hopefully, again, that has a lot to do with just the pros in NFL. Sometimes it's just timing and you being the right player for that scheme. So if they're going to a team that, they can fit their scheme in the way that Syracuse had their offense in their offensive line, then I think they have a decent shot depending on, their situation. But Custis being able to play special teams and everything, I'd say that personally out of the undrafted, I'd say him. I think he's got the best chance. You
think Custis has the best chance?
Yep.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm gonna go real bias here, of course, because I'm orange blooded. I don't know what to tell you. I gotta have Dungey make it just because he's Eric Dungey and I love him. Okay, so that's
don't get me wrong.
That's how I do it. So,
that's
but
fine.
listen. So Dante Strickland, I don't think so, man. I'm sorry, I just don't see it. But Jamal Custis and out of Cody Conway and Coda Martin, I'll make mine quick. Mine's quick and easy. Out of Cody Conway and Coda Martin, one or both of them, I say at least one of them. Put it that way. I say at least one of them.
Okay.
And then obviously I think Chris Slayton, I think he stays. So that's that. Now who's left?
I think Chris Slayton makes the team.
Yeah. Now who's left? So you mentioned Ryan Guthrie. Ryan Guthrie with a great. He was a JUCO transfer, right? A great senior season, especially towards the end, man. He really turned it on and loved him. He was an animal. Kylan Whitner, the same thing. Changed positions. Maybe if they had made that, transition sooner or rather than later, maybe it'd be a little different. But Ravian Pierce, you mentioned, I feel like wasted talent right there, unfortunately. And long snapper Matt Keller, I don't know much about long snappers, man. You know what I'm saying?
The thing with long snappers is what? There's only 32.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
And from what I understand, I think he's just a little too small, I think, to be able to fill that role. I just think that there's just bigger guys out there. As much as that's, think about how many college football teams there are and every one of them's got a long snapper.
Right, and how many were seniors last year? So how many are out there just waiting, to be picked up?
Either way. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, unfortunately. I don't know if I see any of those off of that list that's currently undrafted right now. I don't know if I see any of them getting a shot. But
dude, I'll tell you what. What's up?
Well, out of the one I think has the best shot, obviously, is Ryan Guthrie. So,
I would agree with that.
So, we'll see. I don't know. What were you going to say, though?
Oh, I was just going to say, as far as Keelan Whitner, just to kind of give him a shout out, as far as he was not a very highly a high prospect. He was one of Schaefer's guys. I think one of his better offers, other than us, was like Appalachian State or something. So he came in and he played early. He stepped up. He learned the playbook. He got big and. Again, he might not be good enough to get this, get to the NFL or whatever, but like you said, he had a great senior season alongside Guthrie, and he over-exceeded my expectations.
Absolutely, a couple interceptions too, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah. When I saw that one recruiting class that he was in, that wasn't a guy that I thought was going to be what he was. So
he started as a free safety, give him
right?
Props.
Yeah, he started as started as a safety, moved to linebacker.
Yep, and he did a great job with that transition. Like I said, maybe sooner than later, maybe getting acclimated into that position a little bit sooner, maybe things could be a little bit different. But it is what it is, and you roll with the punches, and you take what you get, and you roll with it. So that is it. That's all I got, Joe. You got anything else, brother? Oh,
No.
Well, we got our poll. I mean, we could do the poll real quick. It's I mean, I put it out there. We might as well just do it just super quick. Yeah. If you didn't see the results or you didn't participate in it, it was a poll we put up on Twitter. And by the way, we put up our polls on Twitter because Facebook only allows you 2 options, and that's stupid. That's so stupid. That format stinks. Facebook actually stinks. I love posting to Facebook, but Facebook is so... That's weird. Facebook's
weird.
We're
gonna have to change the true and false questions.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's exciting. So the proposed poll on Twitter was, what is going to happen first? And we would love to have heard your thoughts or have you comment, but it's just so easy to just pick one of these that no one said a damn word. So, what is most likely to happen first, or what is going to happen first? Tyus to the NBA. He led it all with 40%. Dungey to the NFL with 27%. That's the bottom. Dungey got the least amount of votes. Otto on The Simpsons again beat out Dungey with 33%. So Tyus with 44, Dungey with 27, and Otto with 33.
We did have some comments.
No, we didn't.
Well, we had comments when you reposted it.
Oh, yeah,
wrong.
when I reposted it when I said wrong. Yeah, well, there's people who want to get all nitpicky and say.
Well, I mean, I was gonna bring that up to you.
You did last night. You did. What?
Yeah.
Well, you did. You brought up that he's not on the team yet. Well, I know he's not technically playing in the NFL yet. I get it. But
okay, well, there's a difference between making the 80 or 90 man roster.
Well, he's on the 90 man roster.
90 man roster to 53.
Let's go from there. Stop being so nitpicky, man. Come on.
I'm just saying. Yes, he's in the NFL, but
right, exactly.
Is he in the NFL?
Dungey to the NFL was the. It's the one I picked, by the way. I was one of the 27%. And Dungey to the NFL, I didn't get to vote, but I would have been there.
Well, the NFL draft is before the NBA draft.
Oh, okay, fine. So what happened first? Then? Well, we'll see what happens with Tyus then. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
If Tyus goes to the NBA or whatever, then gets picked up as an undrafted free agent, we'll call it a wash.
I think we got to be a little less vague, I mean, if you would have ran this poll by me before you posted it, then...
I did!
No, you...
Yes, I did, too! I sent it to you via text. Joe,
allegedly,
don't be such a fraud.
Allegedly.
Don't be such a fraud. I'll screenshot it. I will. Don't even think I won't. Anyway, it's fun. I'm just having fun with the polls. I was excited last night. So
messing with you.
I know. I was excited last night, so I posted it up there. Maybe I got over my skis a little bit. Whatever, man. Whatever. Who cares? We're having fun. So 191 votes, by the way. That's pretty good. But I think it's freaking hilarious that there's 191 votes and not one of you goons commented on it until I posted it after Dungey was picked. And so, anyway, it's all good. That's fun. It's hard to think of polls, and so
yeah,
it really is, man. But anyway,
especially in
the off season,
there's nothing going on. I mean, Syracuse doesn't have a baseball team.
Well, they got the Mets.
No, they got Syracuse Mets, yeah, but
Tim Tebow.
Tebow's in town.
Tebow time. We could do some Tebow episodes. Maybe we get him on the show. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know if he's got the time, buddy. He's in full swing AAA baseball, buddy.
Ooh, full swing! Look at that. Did you mean that? Did you mean that? I see what you did there.
Who knows?
Oh, he's a mystery now. All right. So that's all I got. That's all Joe's got. Because Joe managed to turn a 20-minute episode into 40. So congratulations to him doing his thing. And also, we were supposed to start this episode. Of course, Joe's late. It's all good. What's 45 minutes of my time sitting around waiting for Joe? No, time schmime.
I texted you.
Time schmime. Who needs it?
I'll screenshot it. I'll screenshot it.
All right. That's it. Thank you to SeatGeek.
Yes.
Thank you to my bookie. Listen, you guys know the deal. I would only recommend a service that's been good to me, to you. So that's why I'm recommending my bookie. It may be a little late, but that's okay. I'm going to get this in. They have in-game live betting, the most rewarding player perks in the business. And for all you fantasy guys and gals out there, you can even bet the over-under on how many fantasy points a player will score each game. Join now. MyBookie will match your deposit dollar for dollar. Use promo code CUSE25 to activate that offer. Visit MyBookie online today. They got the dollar for dollar match deal going on. It's not going to last forever. Go to MYBOOKIE and don't forget to use the promo code CUSE25 when creating your account and claim up to $1,000 of free play. We are out of here. Thank you to MyBookie. Thank you to SeatGeek. Thank you to James and Guitar. Thank you to all of you for listening. That's it. We're out.
Breathe, bro.
Thanks for listening to the Cuse Militia Podcast, the fan's voice with Sean and Joe.